Oh, here it is. Well, yeah, let's get back to the point about this story in the New Yorker about an Israeli private Israeli spying firm. Essentially, I don't know what else to call it. It's a private Israeli.
It's a private spying firm. That's what it is.
They dub themselves as a private Mossad. They are apparently allowed to work with impunity in this country, as long as they don't beat anybody up. But they have been sending intimidating emails and flyers and trying to silence critics of Israel's. They broke up when the Mueller investigation started because apparently they were somehow involved in some ways peripherally with the Trump campaign.
I think the conduit was Newt Gingrich.
Not surprising.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, this is all centered around. We had a Senate bill that I think passed that said, or did it pass, or they get it? They kept pushing it. That basically criminalizing any type of articulated support for the BDS movement, which was to divest or boycott.
Many states have already done this. New York, Texas. We saw that terrifying story of the speech pathologist in Texas who lost her job a couple months ago.
Right, and the idea that Ilhan Omar was in some way speaking out of turn is belied by a lot of the facts that come up. But fortunately, for those of us who are concerned about anti-Semitism, Scott Perry from Pennsylvania, a Republican representative from Pennsylvania's 10th district, basically sets those of us who may be critical of Israel straight.
I think we need to, among other things, be careful about the parsing, which seems to be happening, where you can say that you're not for the government of Israel, but you're for the Jewish people. The Jewish people form the government of Israel. The state of Israel is formed by the Jewish people. And if you're maligning the government and the state of Israel at the same time, they're congruent. They are one and the same. They are the Jewish people. And I think that's the biggest thing we can do.
Well, it's actually a pretty anti-Semitic comment.
I mean, it's an anti-Semitic comment. It also, I think probably accidentally indicates that he doesn't think that there is a democracy there in Israel. I should tell you that we as Jews do not get together and get to vote on the government of Israel. I am Jewish. I have not been able to vote in any of the Israeli elections since the mid-'60s. I haven't been able to vote in any of those elections. Here's a guy who's incredibly ignorant about what he's talking about, but is Jew-splaining to people.
Well, and let's be real, though. This is who the alliance is built with from modern Israel. I mean, this is who Netanyahu's friends with. These are all of the far-right, racist parties from Likud on left. I mean, I think we got to be, even when you look at Yash Katid, the Yair Lapid's party, Labor. I mean, these are center-right parties. You have Meretz, which is liberal, and they're totally marginalized.
Right.
And then you have, Joint List, which fell apart, but a couple of Arab and socialist parties that are on the left. So, the Israeli government, Israeli foreign policy has really cultivated aligning with these people. And it's funny because when people like Olmert and Barak said, we can't sustain having an apartheid state, and that's their word, not mine, although I do also use that word, they would say it's untenable in the long term because even just specifically American Jews care about things like civil rights. And people like Netanyahu were like, well, that may be true, but there's a whole other set of people that we can strike political alliances with to do whatever the hell we want.
That's right. We don't need American Jewry if we have American evangelicals.
American evangelicals or European neo-fascists.
Right.
I mean, or frankly, just China or Russia and other countries that just generally are not wanting to talk about sort of human dignity questions.
Let's go to
Governments,
phones.
versus
Calling from
countries.
a 647.